Hello and welcome to match 3 in the Dominion League against Russ2. Here's our first kingdom, and the end deck seems clear in my mind, or seemed clear in my mind. It has a couple masterminds in play. You draw with either Torturer or Tragic Hero first, and then you gain action somehow with the other mastermind to build big here. How to get to that deck state was not immediately clear to me. Even throughout the game, it wasn't clear at any point, I would say. There are cards that trash. Amulet, Scrap, Stonemason trashes. Stonemason also gains quickly and can help with the end game as well. So, on the beginning, there are a couple ideas here for me. One is Amulet and one is Scrap. The Amulet will probably trash more quickly than the Scrap. If you see it early, Scrap trashes only one card every shuffle. Amulet potentially could trash two. The other side with the Scrap is that you are able to gain a few bonuses from the cards you trash, the estates in particular. The most attractive of which is probably a horse. But it does trash more slowly, and I thought for that end goal deck of Mastermind connecting with Torturer, perhaps the deck needed to be thin to give myself the best chance of that happening. So I chose the faster trashing route with double Amulet on the opening. This is in sharp contrast to Russ2's opening, which is Scrap and Horse Traders. They trash less quickly. I'm not even sure what the Horse Traders is for. It's probably to hit 5 easily. Alright, so we go ahead with our trashing plan. Trash an estate. We pick up a Scrap here. Maybe the Scrap can line up with the remaining estates in my deck. Hopefully, because the terminal space is already soaked up with the two amulets. Russ2 gets an amulet of their own here. I trash with this amulet. Trash another estate. Again, maybe could have left that for the Scrap, but I wanted to get rid of the estates as soon as possible to try to get to 5. Here is Russ2's Scrap. So they scrap their estate and they play their Horse Traders as a sheep to get up to 5 for Mastermind. So looking back now, that Horse Traders was to get to 5, is a very good card to get to 5. They wanted Mastermind early, and I understand that. I respect that. That's probably the correct thing to do, to get Mastermind early. So they go ahead and get their Mastermind early there. There are only 3 targets in their deck for the Mastermind, but I think that's good enough. I think here about whether or not I should get a Mastermind. I could take coins of both the amulets and get the Mastermind. I chose not to do that. I said, okay, we will commit to our idea of trashing quickly. So we go ahead, we double trash again with the amulets. I get rid of the estate, the final estate. So now my Scrap has no non-zero targets aside from the amulet. I thought that was okay for now. Amulets may put silver into the deck later, which could serve as targets for the Scrap. And here, I could always play the Scrap as a sheep to get to 5. Doesn't have to be a Scrap all the time, right? So now with 5 here, I make, I would say, a wrong choice looking back on the game. I did not want to buy the Mastermind here because I thought my deck did not have attractive enough targets. Definitely didn't want to Mastermind the Amulet because the Mastermind stays out of the deck for too long. And I thought there were no good targets for the Scrap. Even if I triple play it, what am I doing? I could play it as sheep, which is 6 money, which is a lot of money. That is reasonable. But I still felt that wasn't good enough. And I choose to get a Torturer here instead. because I feel Mastermind on Torturer is a much better target than either of Scrap or Amulet. So I need the Torturer first. Well, I didn't actually need the Torturer first. I could have bought the Mastermind, triple sheeped something, and then bought the Torturer after that. But I choose to go the other way. Very over terminaled. Hopefully the Mastermind fixes that for me soon. Russ2 scraps their horse traders, picks up a horse critically, and they get a Mastermind into play. Alright, so here I am going to put my amulet in play, take a coin, and on 3 pick up another scrap. Russ2 has no compunctions about playing their Mastermind on an amulet. They trash once and get a couple coins so that they could overpay on Stonemason for a pair of 5s, which turns into Mastermind and Torturer. So here I get up to 5 again. I go for a second Mastermind. Or maybe that's my first Mastermind actually. Bunch of sheeps come out for Russ2, and they get another Mastermind. I think that's number 3 for them. I finally scrapped one of my amulets. I felt like the amulet did what it could do for me. So now I scrap it, and critically I gain a horse. Hopefully this Mastermind could land on the horse. That would be ideal. So I could gain some draw and plus actions. Doesn't happen, unfortunately. Alright, over to Russ2. Single horse into Torturer for them here. My Mastermind choices are between amulet and scrap. I didn't want the amulet. I chose the scrap instead, and I chose to triple trash with the scrap actually. I could have played some of them for sheep to get up to 5 again to buy, but I didn't want this nonsense to happen where my Mastermind missed both my Torturer and my horse here. So I just cleaned up the deck. That should be good enough now. My Mastermind should find appropriate targets at this point. Alright. Russ2 scraps that Stonemason, and they put a Mastermind into play. I gain a silver off this amulet now. There's nothing left to trash, and I could actually use the money from the amulet. I also would like to overpay on Stonemason, and I am able to do that here by scrapping my scrap to draw back the silver from the amulet, get a coin. Mastermind goes into play. We overpay for another Mastermind and a Torturer. So here we have an interesting choice by Russ2, right? And here's our critical part of the game in terms of ideas, not in terms of, you know, points moving or anything. Russ2 chooses, and later on they also make the same choice, to play their Mastermind on a Mastermind. I opt not to do that for this entire game. I opt instead to keep my Masterminds symmetric in the sense that 2 now, 2 next turn, and always keep it like that. I never, and deliberately so, play my Mastermind on a Mastermind. Again, that could be completely wrong. I haven't thought carefully about Mastermind. Maybe this is the way to play Mastermind, how Russ2 is doing it. But I prefer to keep it symmetrical. I line up Mastermind here with Torturer. So this will be a triple attack. Russ2 trashed more slowly than me, and that triple curse will hopefully punish them for that. I scrap the Stonemason to get up to 7 again. We overpay for more 5s, another Mastermind, and another Torturer this time. Critically, while the curses are still in the pile, for the next turn or two, I just want to make sure my Mastermind shows up with a Torturer in my opening hand. So I am going to pick up a third Torturer here and hope it shows up in the opening. Fortunately, it does. Anyways, we get hit with the triple attack from the Mastermind. Russ2 here effectively has 4 Masterminds in play, so we have to keep track of that. I am able to discard twice here to this Torturer, because I have a torturer in my hand and that will be played 3 times. They get the triple play scrap. So here's where they make a big move in terms of cleaning up their deck. So scrap trashes 3 bad cards out their deck, 2 curses and an estate. An amulet comes down to trash more curses 3 times, and they'll get triple play on their next turn. And finally, it's a triple play of Torturer. So we get hit 6 times with the Torturer. We take 3 curses in total from them. Could be worse, but it could also be better. Stonemason again for Russ2. This time, instead of Torturer, they pick up Tragic Hero, which makes perfect sense. The curses will run soon, and in that case, Tragic Hero is much better than Torturer. Plus buy and gold gain does a lot more work for you than just draw 3. Alright, so here's my triple attack. I did take on quite a bit of curses, so much so that I am actually not able to draw through the whole deck. Russ2 does take curses twice, so we have 2 curses left in the pile. I scrap a Torturer here. That may not be right, but I wanted to put a silver and a horse into the deck, and I mean, I could have trashed the amulet. I probably should have trashed the amulet. I'm keeping it around because it trashes curses more elegantly than the scrap, but maybe that was the time to get rid of the amulet there. Here's triple amulet for Russ2, and they get another Mastermind in play. So we do line up another attack on them, another triple attack critically, and they take the last of the curses. So that's great. Now we could proceed to build up to put in more Masterminds into play, doing something with the deck more than triple attacking our opponent. So we fill up the deck with some horses. Horse is probably the best target for Mastermind here, and Stonemason overpay for another Mastermind and a Tragic Hero. Again here, just like turn 11, Russ2 makes the choice to triple play a Mastermind. So they have 3 Masterminds coming in next turn. I fortunately am able to Mastermind a horse. So we get the draw, we get the plus actions. Those are the things we want from our Masterminds. I have to save 2 of these actions for the 2 Masterminds that I have in my deck. I could, you'll see here soon, play 3 Masterminds down, but I choose to keep things symmetric. Again, that's probably wrong at this point. Probably wrong. I trash a Stonemason here to draw through till the end of the deck. Here's the last Mastermind. Could be triple. I choose instead for Amulet to clean up these curses. 4 is not a lot of money. Pick up a Horse Traders here, mostly as a scrap target. Smithy is better in that case. It is a draw card. What if Smithy is the only draw card I see in my hand? Seeing Smithy is better than seeing Horse Traders in the hand. Okay, so here's triple Mastermind from Russ2. Let's see what they do with it. First play is on Torturer, so that's good for them. Second play is on Mastermind. Third play is on Horse. Okay, that allows them to see their whole deck, and they have at minimum 3 Masterminds coming in next turn. We have the same number of Masterminds now. I just keep that in mind. They have, I believe, 1 more triple play. It was Torturer, Mastermind, and Horse. No, I don't think they have any triple plays. Right, so this is a single Mastermind, single Amulet, getting rid of a single curse. Last is a scrap, I think. Yeah, last is a scrap. Yeah, here's the scrap. Trashes a Stonemason to gain a horse, basically. And thinner copper. They pick up a province here because, well, piles are low. It's a reasonable place to pick up a province. I checked the trash on that turn, and I realized that both of us trashed all the Stonemasons from our deck. I was particularly disappointed with myself for that, because Stonemason is great in the endgame, and if I could triple play a Stonemason, I may have been able to win the game on this turn here, because what I am going to do is triple play this Tragic Hero first. If I trash with the Amulet, I'll only gain 1 gold. if I play the Tragic Hero first, I'll gain 2 gold, which is what we want. So we go for 2 gold off the Tragic Hero first. Just have to keep things organized here. Lots of decisions at this point. What to mastermind. See, for example, here I have the option to mastermind. I choose not to do that. The second mastermind play will be on the scrap to gain some actions mostly. I was looking for a way to end the game here, but I didn't see one. I have too many curses, too many cards in the deck actually. The wall is weighing me down. And if I want to empty the piles, well, every card I take is -1 point, so I need to have points to offset that. Alright, so we go ahead, start scrapping the deck. Scrap our horse traders first of all, pick up a horse for that. I scrap our scrap. A little bit dubious, but we do it anyway. Then we go ahead and I think we scrap an estate. Yeah, we go ahead and just scrap an estate. Alright, so here's Torturer to draw everything up. I choose to keep this horse in reserve for the next turn and conclude the turn by playing 2 Mastermind here. So we go for double Mastermind. We get up to 14. Could be Province and Duchy. Take the lead with the Province, but I pick up a Tragic Hero here instead of a Duchy. I would like to gain more gold next turn and probably have a bigger turn was the idea here, but that was not a sound idea because Russ2 is actually able to calculate a victory on this turn even without stonemasons in their deck. They gain a heap of money, first from the Tragic Hero, then from the scraps, and they come up with really an amount of money I did not expect possible from their deck here. So they do spend a bit of time thinking about the line here before they execute, understandably so. So the line for them they calculated was empty the stonemasons, empty the masterminds, then they could double province. That actually puts them at 4 VP, and I have 3. So maybe if I bought the Duchy last turn, I may have prevented a pile out. If I had kept a stonemason in my deck, I may have been able to win or done something more clever on my last turn. But I felt in this game it was technical. There were a lot of decision points, and I feel like I faltered too many times at some of these decision points. So I'll fast forward here through till the end because watching people think isn't the most exciting thing in the world. Here come these scraps. So they scrap a bunch of silver to gain back silvers, but also buys and coins. And they use a bunch of their spare actions as sheeps. There's so many masterminds here. I don't even know at this point how many they have. It's at least 3, right? 3, 4, 5 maybe. Mastermind. You'll see the herd of sheep come out soon here. So let's skip through. Where are the sheep? Please show me the sheep. Alright, here's the sheep. Let's go back so we can see it. There are all the sheep. And there go the piles and double province. 30 and 6 or 7 buys or something. Incredible. Well calculated by Russ2. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.